Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here with your World of Warships Legends shenanigans for the day. Today we are in the Takahashi, one of my favorite ships, right? So I play, right, you guys know me, I play like this ship and Jinan, the Pan-Asian cruiser, very like similarly, where I've done a meme torpedo build, right, built into the torpedoes 110% with this thing. And so that's what I'm utilizing most of the time. A little bit of concealment, right? 10 kilometers, not half bad for a Tier 8 cruiser, right? But so if we need to, and occasionally we do, we can kind of kite away and try and stop firing guns and go undetected, play a destroyer role if we really need to. But yeah, this is pretty moderate, I guess. But anyway, so I'm doing kind of my thing here, which is typical for me starting off a game with one of these types of cruisers, which is just kind of sending some torpedoes here and there through sort of the alleyways and zones where I suspect enemies might show up. And then we're going to play it a little bit safe here. This does end up being a pretty competitive game. We have quite a bit of like they get a kill, we get a kill, they get it right. We stay pretty even on ships for quite a while here. And we do get picked up by the aircraft carriers, but that's fine being spotted by planes. I'm going to see if I can sneak into the zone here, right? There's only one destroyer, and I actually can see on the minimap that he had gotten spotted over just on the other side of the Bravo cap there, if you're looking at the minimap. So I kind of assumed I'd be able to sneak in here and not get picked up, and so we could grab the zone and play the objectives. Who knows, that might help sometimes, right? That might help win the games occasionally, right? So we'll sneak in here, hold off on firing our guns to help keep us undetected, and see if we can get this zone cap. Right, we're just not going to shoot at this Brandenburg because that would get us spotted, and him along with probably several other ships would shoot us, right? So, and then we'd get a little lucky, right? The aircraft carrier doesn't come towards us, or the airplanes don't. I'm going to take that shot through the zone there to try and see where that Brandenburg's going to show up. And then we've got a couple of seconds left, so I'm going to start backing up and repositioning here. I don't want to be in this particular location as the enemy starts pushing up, right? They got quite a few ships on this side for the time being. They do get Bravo cap before us, so they are technically ahead on points for right now. And then we're going to use the anti-air consumable, the anti-air boost, because the planes are close enough to us here. And they've got a fellow Takahashi on the other side of the map here. Just kind of selecting these guys just to kind of see where everyone's going. No torpedo hits yet, but we do have 6 planes shot down, the zone cap, and 2 spots, so we're still getting some stuff done here. We lose a battleship, right? So right off the bat here, right, we're down on points, plus we're down on ships. Yeah, we had a decent torp shot towards that Brandenburg. Oh, we might actually get him with one there. That is a pretty chunky, right? 17K for that. And we've got him flooding. That is going to be a brutal torpedo, especially if he takes another one here. He's got engine damage as well. Another almost, yeah, or 18,000 damage we're doing against him almost. It's like 17.9. So 2 torpedo hits with that build, right? And then part of that is the range too. They get there with the cruiser. They're going to do more damage the further out. He did happen to have damage god finally available there. See if we can finish him with guns, maybe? Firing our guns for the first time here. And I'll save the torpedoes. And yep, we do get the second kill for our team there. And just trying to anticipate where these ships over on this side are going to go. Right, not the best ship for pushing into zones. Kind of the only reason we did it early on in the game, just because we knew where all the enemy ships were thanks to the aircraft carrier, and we knew that their only destroyer was in the Bravo cap, so we were able to sneak in, cap the zone, completely uncontested here. So, but I'm going to hang back here and just kind of play conservative till we know it's a little bit safer for us. See what this Siegfried's gonna do. I was hoping to get away without getting spotted there, because I was hoping that island there would keep us undetected, but we did get spotted for a second, and now we're in the clear again. Chepaev over there. I think the other cruiser over here was another Takahashi, so depending on how he has his ship configured, right, he may have pretty long-range torpedoes as well. And then haven't spotted that right. They've got one more battleship left. Yeah, there's Takahashi. We haven't seen that last battleship in a while. There he is. There's Massachusetts. Okay. Still in the same exact spot, but okay. And then we do get spotted by the Siegfried to our port side, to our left over here. So we are close enough to him. But he's kind of preoccupied with the two allied players over on that side. Would have been nice if the Tirpitz could have finished him off with torpedoes. It was pretty close to not get all of those hits. Massachusetts looking the other direction, so we'll take the cheap shot there. The Tirpitz does finally finish off the Siegfried, but then the carrier finishes off our BA Tirpitz. So then angling out from this Takahashi, I did trip sonar in case he's been sending torpedoes through the zone here, right? We've been spotted for a little while, so I kind of figured better play it safe. We only get a minute on this sonar, though, is the only downside with this one. And sure enough, there are some torpedoes, so it was a good call to trip that. Trick the anti-air consumable again, since we're close enough to airplanes. So we'll get some of them shot down again as well here. To, what, 12 planes shot down now? And we get a torpedo hit on him. I think it went right underneath the back end of him there. Our sonar is going to run out. But we're undetected here. So just playing it smart right again. We're like right up even on points almost, right? We're down a little bit on points, I suppose. And then even on ships still here. And trying to see, just paying attention to this airplanes. Yeah, so he's trying to line us up. So we're going to... I'm going to dump torpedoes in this direction because I know that Massachusetts is over there, and then we're going to turn away, right? Either want to turn in or turn away from these torpedoes. We get a hit on something. Right, so just paying attention to the mini-map and where the planes are saved us there. Massachusetts, man. He has hardly moved from behind that island this whole game. And we're going to turn in towards these torpedoes. We might not be able to dodge all of these this time. Since we had kind of slammed on the brakes and slowed down before, we didn't have enough momentum to get that turn in sharp enough. Just going to kind of keep staggering torpedoes as best I can. It's kind of tempting to go in for the B hole here. So we'll see, we'll head this direction and see what happens here. Still down a little bit on points here, but we've got 2 zones to their 1 now, so we're catching up pretty quick. There's their Takahashi. I could probably shoot without getting spotted here, so we'll do that. And Massachusetts still almost full health over there. That's just kind of one of those things that I preach on my channel, right? If you're a battleship, and your teammates are dying off, and you're still at full health, you're not you know, you kind of have to use your health as a resource, right? Consume some of that throughout the match. Obviously, don't get yourself in a situation where you're focused on by the entire enemy team, but you really do want to try and draw some fire occasionally to try and help keep your, as a battleship, right? Try and help keep your cruisers and destroyers alive. So we'll send what we got for Torps at Takahashi, but we did finish him off with the guns there. And then we got a torpedo hit somewhere, probably on that Massachusetts. I think finally decided to start moving up. But since we took a salvo there, right, it reset the zone cap, so we're going to just kind of be patient here. We'll see if we can get starboard torps through the Charlie cap here, because I'm sure that Massachusetts is going to come through that direction at some point here. It's kind of what I would do. And try and wait just a hot minute here, right? I triggered sonar in case that Takahashi that we just killed had sent torpedoes. Kind of got to think there's some travel time on those. And then I'm going to stagger the torpedoes that we send through Charlie here. Just to try and get right. You want to, like, if you can hold off, right? If you can trigger flood. Yep, there's torpedoes from Takahashi, right? So you can trigger a flood here and there, and then you know, wait long enough that his damage con would be over, right? If you spend that second rack, you can trigger the permanent flood, right? So it's kind of the idea there. Would be nice. I was hoping our carrier would spot him. Yep, there he is. So carrier spots him on the minimap, but we can't see him. But we can at least know to adjust. And shoot on the other side of that island there. And then of course we spot him here, but it's not as big of a deal. And then torpedoes behind us. We're just keeping an eye on these. Think I can get around them. And then took kind of a cheap shot at the Massachusetts with the guns. So we do get 2 defend ribbons there. And we're going to get picked on. That's fine. We'll use the damage con. We'll damage con the single fire. There's not a lot of other threatening things around us here. Planes had just done their run, so we're good for a little bit. And then, yep, I was kind of maybe a little bit too close here, but I also wanted to make sure we spotted him so that we could, so I'm going to slam the brakes and turn out here. Full reverse, turn away to try and dodge as much of that from the Massachusetts as we can. And then, yep, we do get the defend there and keep the zone out of enemy hands. So that's going to be big for us. That's going to help us on the XP board as well. That kind of stuff, playing objectives. Super, super helpful. Trigger the fire there. I think did he put one out previously? So yeah, we've got fires burning. Either he's saving it or he put the previous ones out. And he's taking torpedo hits from our carrier as well. And yeah, we're getting away with it, right? He's kind of looking other directions too. And then we've got a pretty good, right? We're angled pretty well here, so been just kind of turning out every time he fires to try and mitigate damage. But right, if we didn't have a lot of health left, I would probably just stop firing the guns to try and conserve what little health I had left. But we can take a couple of salvos here with some angling. We'll be okay. And then we're keeping the zone, right? We're keeping him from capping the zone, right? So especially since we're not getting the torpedo hits that we would like. That gives us, what, 11 defend ribbons. We also have a clear skies medal from all the planes we've shot down as well. Finally going to get a torpedo hit there. We don't get a flood. I'm guessing he might have been on. He might have been using damage con. I'm not sure though. But fire there. So that one's gonna burn, I think. Oh nope, he's gonna put it out, right? So he just got lucky before, and we didn't get the flood. But 30 seconds left here, so if we can finish him off, that'll help with points a little bit here. We've only got the 2 kills, but 140,000 damage here. I'm kind of curious what our XP is going to look like, right? We've done a lot of zone play here, right? We've got the 2 solo captures, plus these 11 defends. And then that's our 3rd kill for the match there. I think we've got our destroyer, right? Our destroyer, I think I would argue, is maybe a little bit out of play, right? He's kind of trying to chase down the carrier right now, but I wasn't paying too much attention to what he was doing previously. But we'll win on points for that one. We'll take a look at the leaderboard, and I'll go through how we have the ship and commander set up for this thing as well. 3,700 XP. That's enough for your heroic effort missions for the week. So not half bad of a score there. And walk away with a decent amount of credits as well. Right, so this is pretty typical. If you've been watching my channel, this is going to look very familiar for you, right? Aiming system, propulsion mod, concealment, and then with this meme torpedo build, right, we're doing the torpedo launcher mod 3 with the epic and legendary mods on there as well, because I play these ships quite a bit. And then Ijun, right, if I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sure. It's just a commander Geist on here. That's this anime lady, right? But yeah, full-blown meme torpedo build here. I'm not sure if I like Space Fishy or not. I think I'd considered changing him out for an inspiration, but yeah. So everything that's a torpedo option, I am picking that option. And then killing distance is, of course, tons of fun when you've got long-range torpedoes as well. But that's going to be our video for the day. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. Please do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That helps me out quite a bit. So my icon shows up in the bottom right of the video at the end here, so make sure you click on that. I do Legends videos every day, right? So if you're checking out the channel, there's all sorts of content out there. I do occasionally live stream as well. And then, as always, special thanks to channel members. I don't always remember to put your guys' names up here, but when I do, I throw them up here. So if you're interested in that and helping support the channel a little bit more, you check out the members section on the page. But Legends videos pretty much every day, so if you are following, we'll see you guys again tomorrow.